Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the Prelims 2026 series. A series where we discuss the most important tips and tricks to help you crack the civil service preliminary examination. So in the part 3 of this series, today we will be discussing about how to effectively master current affairs for the Prelims 2026. We all know we have just close to 1 month for the preliminary examination of 2026, and by now you can stop reading the newspaper per se and updating your current affairs specifically for the 2026 examination. Now it's important for you to go back to the 1 year of current affairs that we have before this, so that all the questions that have a possibility of being asked in this examination is given enough focus. My journey with it, I was someone who was reading newspaper on a day-to-day basis. There are people who don't read newspaper on a day-to-day basis. They have a different sort of a journey. So I was someone who was regularly reading newspaper and someone who also looked at the monthly current affairs magazines. I used to refer to the Divya Ann IIS monthly current affairs compilation, and by the end of the year, just before the preliminary examination, they would come out with the PT 365. So since I was up-to-datedly reading the monthly current affairs magazine, when I came to the PT 365, I was already familiar with what they are going to put through the compilation. After downloading the PT 365, I used to read it once, twice or thrice and then highlight the most important aspects which I felt can become a topic of discussion for the examination. And in my 4th or the 5th revision, when I was going through the same PDF, I would only look at the things which I have highlighted. That is the ease with which I got familiarized with that particular method of understanding and revising the current affairs portion. And I would always recommend you to understand this thing ki current affairs is always having a secondary importance with respect to civil services examination, especially in the prelims, because what is going to really help you, and I truly believe that the static portion or the static subjects are the ones that are really going to help you, and current affairs is just a subsidiary thing and just an extra element that you can add, maybe to give you like a few marks extra, which can help you reach to that cutoff level, but your strong area should always be the static portion. Now once you have gone through the current affairs compilation really well, it is important for you to test your knowledge, especially in the current affairs related aspects, using enough quiz tests that are available, offered by different coaching institute, etc., so that you have a correlation. Whatever you have read, have you been able to retain it? And say for example, if you are reading Vision's current affairs compilation, it is good for you to refer to the quiz that is offered by some other coaching institute, so that current affairs is a very vast subject, and when you have like a blend of different institutions giving like different set of topics to be studied, that will give you a wider ambit in terms of your understanding, is what I feel. So one thing that I've recently noticed in the civil service examination is a lot of international reports brought out by international bodies have started to gain a lot of significance in the examination. So sometimes it is almost impossible for us to cover everything that is being talked about or everything the UPSC wants us to know, but ones that are the most important, especially the environment related international bodies and the reports that they publish, need to be understood. One key thing with respect to the prelims examination, especially in reference to current affairs, is that if you don't know an answer, if you don't know a specific topic, it is highly unlikely that in the current affairs related aspect you will be able to reach to a conclusion, and most likely if you are trying to forcefully answer that question, there are high chances that you can make an error in that question. So try to avoid questions, and if you're not heard about something, accept the reality that you will not be able to even figure out it to a large extent. Otherwise it is something related to a topic where you have some sort of a reference, some sort of an understanding, or a conclusion can be drawn upon. So, another important aspect that really helped me sail through the examination was looking at the important places that are appearing in the current affairs related topics and mapping them using the world map. For example, these days we are talking about countries like Iran, the US, Lebanon, Israel, etc., the Strait of Hormuz, which is highly likely to appear as questions for the examination, especially in reference to maps. In maps, what I've understood is that if you don't have clarity, if you have not given enough practice, you will highly likely make a lot of mistakes. And to reach to that precision level is truly very important, because they will give you that bias. Like some countries which are nearby can always appear in the paper and then can really confuse you. So mapped based questions should be given enough significance, and that will really help you get that extra edge and not miss out on questions that usually everybody will be able to answer. Finally, sharing a personal experience with respect to my experience of dealing with current affairs. That is, in the first attempt that I wrote the civil service examination, that is in 2022, I was someone who gave a lot of significance to the current affairs, and I would say that the cost benefit was so close to nil that I was not able to, like, whatever I learned and the questions that appeared in civil service examination with respect to current affairs was completely different. Even though I was able to score more than the cutoff marks in the general studies paper, truly believe that the static portions really helped me. And that was particularly my strategy for the civil service examination of 2023, where I give enough and more focus on the static subjects like history, polity, or say example the map based questions, which were really strong for me, that really helped me sail through the examination. So definitely secondary priority should be given to current affairs, and never forget that your static portions are the ones that are really going to help you sail through the examination. I request you all to integrate current affairs in the rightful amount, in the rightful manner into your preparation process. And if you have any queries with respect to preparation of current affairs for the civil service examination, especially the preliminary 2026 examination, please let me know in the comment section. I'll be ready to help you, and also you can share it through my mail ID that has been shared in the channel. So I wish you all the very best to crack the examination, come out in flying colors, and let me know if you have anything to share with me. Until the next video, it's a goodbye from me. Thank you so much.